Allow me to reintroduce myself.
When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace and power, family. Dr. Daw in the building with QueenA B, BlakBoxxradio, Doc In The Boxx. Happy New Year. We've had a quiet, we had like an extended vacation. I got to start the show off blaming Sister QueenA B on something because of QueenA B. It's definitely because of QueenA B, and I got comfortable in the process of the time. I got real comfortable. I was like, look, Queen, look, check it out. I don't want to come back. You got to pay me more money, Queen. Look, I don't know what I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You're crazy.
You have to pay me more money. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, family, we're going to have a conversation. We want to ask you to join us in the studio. In fact, you might know I don't have a mic today. You know, when things go on, I had a few things going on. The ministry, Temple New African Thought. I've been messing with my mixer and trying to take it downstairs and never took it downstairs, but messed all my stuff up. It's all jacked up right now. I've been trying to get it together. It didn't work out, but nonetheless, so I'm here freestyling without the mic. And I couldn't get my backup to work because I couldn't find a cord and all that type of thing. But nonetheless, family, Sister Queen, talk to the people. Talk to the people.
Well, guys, excited. Listen, we've been off for a minute, but we needed that time. I'm usually off in December, and we come back early January, but we extended it a little. And this is our first Doc In The Boxx for 2025, so I want to say whoop whoop for that. This is the first. We coming in hot, guys. We are coming in hot tonight. We got a new president. Well, an old president. That's a new president. And we got some things to talk about for sure. It's cold outside in the East Coast. I'm gonna say burr. I'm down in the studios in South Carolina, and it is cold. They got their first snow, so it's cold outside. Yeah, I know it's cold.
The first snow in history.
No, not in history. Probably about 10, 15 years. But it's been a while.
It's like raining.
4 inches has been on the ground for 2 days, and it hasn't moved. It hasn't touched. It hasn't. They done nothing.
I know that's a state of emergency. They gotta call into the feds in for that. FEMA.
They shut down, baby. Mm-hmm. They are shut down. So it's cold on the East Coast for sure. We're in some we're seeing weather that we've never seen before up and down the East Coast. Florida, it snowed. New Orleans got about 9 inches. It hasn't happened. I don't think that in 40 years. Yeah, they got about 9 inches. They haven't. So we see how things are happening, and it just don't just happen. Climate change is real. We see seasons in different areas that we haven't seen seasons. We see leadership that we have never seen leading. We're seeing Black leaders doing things that probably they've done before. But we got to talk about it. We got things to talk about. It was Da's birthday yesterday, guys. So I want everybody to tell him happy belated birthday. This young man got a year older. So we want to say happy birthday to him. He is a blessing. The Doc In The Boxx. So let's go, Da.
If I'm such a blessing, let me hear the birthday song. If I'm such a blessing. Let me hear you sing. Let me hear you sing happy birthday to me.
Bro, that's not happening. We saying happy birthday to you verbally. We're not getting no song.
It don't have to be the Stevie Wonder version. It can be the regular old white
happy birthday.
Yeah. Go ahead and let me hear it. Go ahead.
No, happy
Eh,
birthday to you.
look. She. I told her. I called her up yesterday and told her. I said, "You're not being a good boss."
Why you gotta tell everybody everything?
I said,
I don't
you
know
didn't
what's
even
wrong
call.
with you.
I said, you didn't even call
Oh
me on my
God.
birthday. You didn't send me a special card. You didn't say anything to me. Matter of fact, I mean, don't you in your system, in your database somewhere, have the thing that says, okay, happy birthday. You gotta set it on automatic to act like you remember. Yeah, but nonetheless.
But I did tell you happy birthday and how you're such a jewel and your
Yeah,
blessing to,
she,
to
she,
Black Box Radio, and we love having you and we
yeah,
love your
yeah,
genius.
yeah, yeah, she's finesseful. I tell you, she's finesseful. I tell you, boy, she made up for it. I'm trying
I
to tell
sure
you.
did. I
She
gave him a verbal Hallmark card. So that's what you do. You gotta tell people, and I tell everyone, listen, life is short. Tell people around you that you care about them and tell them so in real time because you look and they'll be gone. That's just how it is. We all on a ticking clock.
especially
So
when you tell him happy birthday.
and
So
tell them happy birthday. Value the people around you. Tell them happy birthday. So
that's
listen, we are Black Misleadership in the era of Trump. We get ready to go in.
but
We got a lot to talk about. And these next 4 years, guys, Doc in the Box is definitely going to be, we're going to be talking about Trumpy because he always bringing something. And so we
yeah,
see
but
now he's, huh?
no, I was going to just say in closing on the birthday thing. I probably forget about hers too, so she'll get me back.
Absolutely, because you didn't even tell me when wine was. We went on and I didn't even say a word, so whatever. But anyway, Black misleadership in the era of Trump. We got a new
I,
president,
I'm
old
not the
president.
boss.
Huh?
I'm not the
What?
boss, though. I'm not the boss.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So we got a new boss of America, and
Talk about leadership, right?
yeah, he's coming back with the same old foolishness, and I think he's unchecked this time, guys. So he know what to do. So we got to talk about that. Listen, get in the chat. Don't hold back. If you want to come, we're gonna put the link in the chat. If you want to come sit with Da, you are welcome.
Come and sit with
Um,
QueenA B, come sit with QueenA B. Come talk to her. You know what I mean?
so listen, what you got, Da? What's up with the black leaders we got here? Even though they're not leaders, but anyway, we
Ah,
define our leaders under entertainers and people who talk a lot. Not
mm,
scholars, not research, not data scientists, not people who actually are leaders. Because Malcolm said it. We got the clip. I know we got the clip, but he said, "Listen, you don't see no other community where they're singers and are the leaders. That's the kind of stuff we're doing, and we gotta look at that because we have scholars.
mm.
We have
So I don't really, just to be honest, I've been listening to what has been going on out here to some degree. I haven't taken a deep dive into a lot of these, what we're calling the misleadership class. The Nellies, the what's this guy's name? Snoop
Snoopy,
Dogg, Snoop Dogg, uh,
Soldier Boy,
Soldier B, and then you had the guy, the little guy on the flyer too, the one who did the whole
Doctor
I have a dream.
Reverend Sewell. That's his
Uh,
Reverend Sewell or something like that.
Reverend Sewell. I think you also put Barack Obama on there. I mean,
Exactly.
you seem to be very inspired with that flyer.
I also put the governor, the lieutenant governor of North Carolina.
Okay.
That bootlicker.
Oh God, what's his name?
Mark something. I think Mark
Oh,
Johnson.
so tell me about why did you put him? I mean, I don't know anything about him.
Well, he stumped very hard for Trump. He's one of the it's another guy I could have put, but he stumped on the campaign train very hard for him. He's also said some very challenging statements as lieutenant
Mhm.
governor. He's a black lieutenant governor. He's very anti-black.
Mm.
Um, and he's a good agent for the Republican Party, and he works very hard to legitimize himself amongst the Republicans, who in turn all of the black folks who stump for them, they have no positions in the cabinet.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing how the stumping they did, it didn't stump into a job. It sure didn't.
Well, I mean, well, Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, no one's promised a job. It's not DEI anymore.
But the other ones who stumped are there. The white boys who did,
I,
and
it's-
the
I,
brownish they got is
they,
Rubio. Rubio stumped for it. Ruby got a job.
they stomped out of DEI. They were the proponents of it. So that
Well,
the
I think
white boys
DEI
came
has
first.
always been performative. It has not done any no big numbers for African Americans, and if it is, it's always been a class for the LGBT. I don't want to say.
So you think that DEI has been performative?
I don't think that it's been something that's been widely instituted into these corporate structures. I think that they did have created an office, put a black person in front of it, but it had no teeth. We don't see no actual data. Something that's saying that they did something different than they ever did before. Maybe there is some, and I'm not going to say there isn't, but I haven't seen that.
So you have no problem with them getting rid of it?
I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm saying that we have to stop getting caught up in performance. We live around folks who are very good at performing. Everything they do for the African is on a performative basis. From these holidays and all these things that we think taking down statues, all these performances. So I don't know if there has any teeth and it's done anything for us as a community and as a group.
So you're not into symbolic victories?
Nah, I think that it has to be applicative, and it has to have some outcomes that favor the group that's being oppressed.
So getting a job, perhaps getting ranking higher to get the job is not perhaps that's not necessarily enough for you, I'm hearing.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not enough. What I am saying is if we're getting jobs that still promote the power structure. So the job is not something that we're owning. We're getting a better job in someone in their business. So that's a help. So you getting the best, you're getting great freaking applicants in a job that they don't own, that they have no power in. They could be fired at any time. I don't know if that's a win. We got to stop being so happy about jobs and positions around folks who can cut us off at any time. We have to build institutions. It's important.
Oh, we got to build institutions. Oh, okay. I put out a post not too long ago saying like maybe just yesterday, I put out a post speaking to that very issue.
Did you now?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see it?
No, I did.
Because I didn't even, I don't really know what's going on per se with all of these things. I just feel the energy, and I see other people post, I guess it's impacting my energy. So something had me right. We must stand firmly in support of our own true. Let me slow down. We must stand firmly in support of our true institutions. Our true institutions, recognizing the vital difference between ours and theirs. True sustainable change and liberation demand that we operate beyond their systems and standards. The time for playing games is over.
Completely over.
And I mean, I think it should have been over a long time ago. But I'm just hoping to influence to bring about some level of inspiration, even to let people know, like, look, let's get in order. The things that we've been doing, the games we've been playing them too damn long. And pardon me and pardon my language, but when you're playing the game, it's going to swing back to Trumpy and the boys or the other people. It's going to, I call it seesaw politics. It just go from this one to this one, from this one to this one. And you think you're getting something, but you're not getting anything in the long run.
Yeah. Even if it sways to Democrats, you're not getting nothing.
Yeah.
You're not getting nothing.
You get a Band-Aid, some cough syrup. You might get some penicillin, but but at the same time,
you might get a vacation, but you still got to come home and go to work.
Well, matter of fact, you're not even getting all that stuff I just said. You know what you're getting?
What?
You're getting painkillers and Novocaine and all these type of things when they beating the hell out of you.
You're getting that oxy, baby.
Yeah, you're getting all the drugs that sedate you and have you feeling like you're doing something. and you're not doing anything. You just feel okay. You feel better. You know, Oxycontin, oxycodone, you know, all that type of thing.
Yeah, you know, like they say that Robitussin. You get some Robitussin and you sit down somewhere.
Some syrup.
That's it. That syrup, baby.
You feel like you was remembering that song. He's like,
yeah, I remember that syrup, baby.
That syrup. Okay, it took you back to wherever.
Whatever. You never had no syrup. Shut up.
You was listening to Project Pat and sipping on some scissor. I'm coming through the cold, and here we go, yo. I said I'm making up. That's just how you can just make their raps up.
Lord have mercy. The Da is rapping on the mic. I love it. Ain't no mic. That's why you rapping.
I think
that's it.
Yeah, I'm liking how my picture's looking right now. That's what it is. Like,
you don't have no obstructions. You're real happy tonight.
No,
but one thing that I have observed is that I'm in like a little chain group with some women. And women talk about women stuff, just shot all type of stuff, and they are actually a little afraid when they're seeing Trump. He all these executive orders he's dropping. They're like, wow, white people really don't care for us, and I just don't know why we ever thought.
Because we have good hearts.
But the receipts are there. They show you every day.
No, the receipts.
You live in America. When we gonna get it? We gotta see him take away stuff that really wasn't nothing.
Yes.
You got to see that. No, you gotta see DEI. You gotta see him deport folks.
Yes, you have to see all of that. That's why I'm saying we need the Great Awakening. Yes, we got to see all of that.
I'm glad we do need the greater. You're right.
We were just saying it's dopamine, codeine, heroin, all of those type of things.
That weed, baby. They made weed legal, so everybody's sleeping and high.
Yeah,
they're about to wake you up, baby.
Politically sleeping and holding on to false promises because we want to see the humanity in people who have never shown us humanity.
They've never shown humanity. When do you get it? On. And I'm not saying they're animal. I'm not saying they're animal or they're different. I'm saying their behaviors have shown we have receipts. I have not called them animal.
Queen said, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know what Dr. Daw is saying.
I don't know what Dr. Daw means, but I'm not calling them animal.
I'm not calling them animals. I'm calling us all animals. And we have to be able to discipline ourselves to get from that animal state, quite like Herm Akhet in ancient Egypt. We have to master ourselves, mind over body, mind over matter. You understand?
Absolutely. I agree. But I don't know why we have to see the performance, the real performance, when they start signing stuff and getting rid of folks and deporting folks, because they deporting undocumented immigrants that are light brown, but them Ukrainians and all of them, they ain't saying a word about them. So you got to
because you got to keep in mind though, they didn't vote for him. They didn't vote for him. They voted for the other people that were saying, "Come on in." It's not like they vote. Black
the Mexican immigrants, they voted more for Trump than they voted for Kamala.
I ain't talking about no Mexican immigrants.
Are you talking about the Ukrainians?
And yeah, I'm not sure if they broke it down to Mexico or Latinos.
Because they don't even vote.
we have to. No, I'm talking about black people. This is BlakBoxx.
Oh, hold on.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Wake back up. What are you talking about?
You better know it. BlakBoxx.
That's
BlakBoxx.
Yeah,
you better know it.
You need to learn your colors. That was brown. That was brown.
You better get them colors correct.
Look, you talked about Ukrainians.
I'm just saying, I want folks to understand that they are talking about deporting, but deporting certain people. Listen, I don't have no love for either of them, but it's what's happening in front of our eyes.
I have love for humanity in a sense,
Me too.
But I do understand that these people mean us. Let's go back to my point. My point was that our people did not vote for Trump. in great numbers. They did not vote for
In
Trump.
great numbers,
Right?
truthfully.
And the people that they did vote for wasn't saying they weren't big on deportation, right? However, at the same time, even those who weren't big on deportation also began to act like they were big on deportation to win this election, but they lost the election. Kamala said she was going to be really chomping down at the border, and she said she has done so already. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is,
you're right.
But for our community, I do think that there is a need. I'm sorry, family. When you really know this is warfare, you know we have to feel some damn things. I'm sorry. Yeah. And perhaps there'll be casualties.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be casualties, whether that's real life casualties or that's going to be financial casualty. And God knows it could be me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, when you're really at war, you understand that we have to buckle down, and we should have been buckled down.
Yep.
But the reality is, look. The same people who give you the government contract can then get tired of you and take the government contract back. This is what we've already known. So why are we surprised when we've been talking about it in our conscious circles all the time? This is what we've been talking about. But lots of us became comfortable because human beings want to be comfortable. Yeah. We want to believe. We want to feel at peace. We want to. So in some parts of your mind have to shut off when you're in extreme oppressive situations. So you compartmentalize so that you can survive. And sometimes you compartmentalize so much that you cut off all the reality that's going on around you. In fact, it's not. In fact, they do a great number on us to have us looking at other things. We punch drunk with Beyonce. We punch drunk with Megan Thee Stallion. We punch drunk with any number of rappers that the Democratic Party just had us looking at not too long ago. Then you got this chump. Then you got this chump Trump, right? You got him, and he over here, and he now using Snoopy Doggy, and my thing is, okay, Snoop Dogg. What, like, did you expect any better?
Nah, that's right.
Like, did you you talking about a guy who walking around still crip walking at age 60? What are you talking about? Did you expect that he was going? He has a level of morality or something? Like, are you serious? You talking about a dude who came up the song "I Don't Let Him Hoes" and somehow you think he's more? He has high moral status? Like what are you talking about?
I have my hand.
Go ahead.
You cleaning your window? Go ahead, clean the window.
No. My camera is looking foggy, so that's why. I was
okay. Can I put my hand up?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Y'all see how you talk to me? It's terrible. But I just want to say something too. It's like we have issues too. We're talking about, the Snoop Dogg and all of these folks, they sell out. We all sell out every day. We work for folks who don't care about Black people. You work in the medical field, ain't no Black folks own hospitals. You work in corporations, ain't too many of us, the owner and the CEO of the corporation. We are moving every day and working for other people. The job of entertainers is to entertain, not to entertain because maybe it's Trump or maybe it's a killer or maybe it's this one. They are entertainers. I don't listen. I would not perform amongst folks who I don't feel comfortable with, but that's their job. And I think we as Black people got to get our mindsets right. If you don't want your entertainers to perform for Trump, then you got to have a venue for your entertainers because they're going to get that bag. And we go get the bag every day. We go to Walmart and shop. Well, the Walton family gave more money to Trump than anybody. We have no power in this country, and we expect to exert power. Yes, you should take away from yourself if you don't believe in it, and you should have some moral standard. I think you should. I don't think I would, but I'm not an entertainer. I don't have.
No, you're a human, though. You don't have to be an entertainer. You don't have to be an entertainer.
That's your job. I'm talking about. I'm not. That's not my job. It's not my.
No. I think you were saying something really poignant. That we all have a part that we can play in what do we do? And how are we complicit in this as well?
I absolutely believe that. But I also absolutely believe it's to sell somebody to their sellout because they're performing their job when we perform every day for Europeans. We do not have enough institutions to hire ourselves.
But I think they were sellouts long before they performed for Trump. What we talking about? It wasn't like any of those people was. It's not like any of those people were righteous. They weren't righteous.
I went there too, Bob. What I'm saying
they sold out to the contract. They sold out to the whoever it is that runs the record labels. They sold out before they even got there.
Absolutely. But my point is we are all performing for Europeans. That's not my point is not that they have this moral high integrity grant. I don't think so. I don't think Snoop does, Nelly does, none of them. These are guys running after the bag. They're gonna say anything to get the money. They've done it over and over. Their music emulates that, their behaviors emulate that. I think they are problems. Rick Ross, all of them. They're not no high moral standard guys, but I'm saying that we are all to a point doing our things for Europeans, and we got to look at that.
But I think that's true. But I also think that we can also see. I don't want to take them off the hook.
Me neither.
Because the reality is, although we are all in some way taking part in this system, there are entertainers or edutainers that will have not taken the bag.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why a person with the level of celebrity as a Snoop Dogg needs to take a bag. So, I mean, your main man, your main man, little Dirk in there. What's his name? What's his name?
No, Soldier Boy. Little Dirk, little Dirk weren't there. Soldier Boy.
I know. I'm being funny. Little Dirk is a real person, though, right?
Little Soldier.
Look outside your boy. Look outside your boy.
He said he needed the money, baby. He just told him straight out, I need that cash.
And you know what? We respect that level of ignorance in our community. We know we like it. We like it. Even us conscious folk. He got it. He right. He got it. Like I've been told this all the time in building community. As you're saying, as I heard one time, Lupe Fiasco.
He's probably the most moral.
And Killer Mike were on a rap whatever panel years ago, and then they asked people. Somehow they dispute. Okay, people were saying that they are responsible for the minds of our children and so on and so forth, and they need to not do what they're doing and taking the bags. And I thought Lupe was going to say something different, but he was like, "No, how y'all going to say we have more influence than you?" Because the teacher got up and said, I'm a teacher, a male teacher, and said, y'all are really impacting the minds of our people. He said, I don't buy that. That's what Lupe said. I don't buy it that we are impacting the children more than you are who is in the class with them every day. He said, look, so y'all want us to say no to things, but at the same time, you're not really fighting the system side of the school system. So you want us to fight up here at this level, but what are you doing at the school system? And the truth is, that's really true.
Yeah.
And these different systems, people aren't fighting. But I do not want to act as if there are people out here that will have turned down the contract. There are people out here on various levels that don't do certain things because of moral, principled reasons.
There are, and I'm not saying they aren't. What I'm saying is we got to also look at our own behaviors every day as we perform our jobs. We're not building any institutions. We are very satisfied working for the same folk. You are, but you are. I'm just saying all of us need to look at our behaviors when it comes to how we function in this country.
You building an institution, but
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I ain't got nothing.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
But we got support. We got support. Look, let me go back to my post. We must stand firmly in support of our true institutions, recognizing the vital difference between ours and theirs. I am telling you that I work with so many people that they even have their own institutions and don't realize they don't have their own institutions. They think they have their own institution, or they believe because they put black on a white institution that somehow that's a black institution. So I think that we are confused about what is really black, and I don't think everything that's covered in black or because they got black people, even if black people founded it, is truly for black people. So again, I say we must stand firmly in support of our true institutions, recognizing the vital difference between ours and theirs. True sustainable change and liberation demands that we operate beyond their systems. So if you have an institution that is merely operating in their system, I'm saying it's still problematic. And we acting as if we're really doing some things.
Yeah.
If it ain't shaking up a thing.
That's why I think Trump is important, though, Doc. He's gonna wake us up. If he don't wake us up, then we're not getting woke.
Absolutely.
Trump gonna wake you up, baby.
Absolutely. Huh? You know, the other day I did a presentation on Dr. King, right? Go check it out at Dr. Ausar Winkler on YouTube, right? It's Dr. Right? Go check it out. And one of the things I failed to really emphasize is that Dr. King wasn't following. Dr. King was doing illegal things. Dr. King was breaking laws. And then somehow you want to call him a chump. Dr. King was literally breaking laws during his time to bring about change. And it has, as long as you don't challenge the law, the systematic structures, the systematic apparatus, you are doing nothing but maintaining the status quo.
Yep, and that's why they hated him, because he was breaking laws. You're right.
Some of us don't even want to part our lips with even saying that. We got to go and hide, do everything. And then we put up our red and black green flag on the weekend in our kufis.
You coming for the people.
I'm just saying we gotta do more. You know, we gotta be. I mean, go ahead.
Because listen, they're doing more. These folks are looking at the demographics of this country. They're looking at Africa as rat in the cage. It's gonna be hard to keep the brown folks down after a while. So they're coming like, listen, we got to get control of this thing again. Federal workers, go back to work. They're not playing. Everybody. No more work from home. None of this. They want to control the narrative. And so what are we going to do as a community, as a people?
I heard my man last night, say Trump is for us.
Who said that?
My man David
he didn't say that. He said we could use how he's rattling the cage for our best.
No, he said, let me quote him then. He said that Trump's agenda is a black agenda.
No, I don't remember that. And I was sitting here.
And I was listening to it 3-4 times.
Okay.
He said
that's not what I got.
Well, you didn't get it, but he said what Trump is doing is also the same as the black fight. He's saying that, and he broke that down. He's saying that the way that I ain't saying it was wrong or right. I ain't saying it was wrong or right, but he said it. I'm not saying that he's wrong right now. I'm saying that he's fighting the deep state. He's fighting the things that particularly. That's what he said. The deep state. He defined the deep state, and he said that he's fighting the things that they're fighting and trying to go against all of this global. Yeah, white on white violence. White on white violence. Yeah, white on white violence. Then it might be something that we can champion and help us too, because they do it to us. That's what I got from him. But he literally said that Trump's agenda, or however he said it, it might not be verbatim. His fight is our fight. And that might have been closer to what he said. I don't know. I can't say that. That's not what I got from him. But I think that what he said made me think about what Trump is doing. But I don't know if Trump's fight is our fight. I can't say that. I say we can't look for a European man to be our fight. What we need to do is unite, collaborate, exchange information, and come together and build something that has some teeth in this community, in our own community, and in the vast community of America. That's what we need to do. So it is no way that I would think any of these guys who are in power right now will think that they're going to do anything for the betterment of us. They're looking to promote themselves, and if that helps us, then that was good for us, but it wasn't for us. So that's what I do see. And listen, I'm not mad at these entertainers because I don't expect much for them. I don't dislike Snoop. I don't dislike Nelly, but I don't expect for them to fight for the liberation of African people. But I think Nelly said it. Okay, thank you for bringing up Nelly. I think Nelly really said what we've been pushing.
Yeah, he said, I didn't think I had to know. I had to ask you to perform.
Yeah, but even more than that, what he's been saying is this. What he said was that I am not going in there for him. I'm going in there for the position, the title, the office of the president. And what we often say here is that we must respect the office no matter what. That is what people say. That is what people say. You must respect the office.
You're right.
They said it a million one times when Obama was in the office, right?
Oh yeah, because he's special.
But they must respect the office. They must respect the office. But then when Trump got in the office, then they want to flip it up. You can't have it both ways, you know. So now he's just being real on the stuff what he was taught by these other black folks. You must respect the office. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been saying. Oh, you must respect the office. That's what we said about Obama. So now when Trump get in there, now you want to say, I mean, Michelle respected. I mean, not Michelle. I heard Michelle didn't go.
Yeah, no. Well, Trumpy didn't go last year, so she ain't gotta go. She's done with her service. She ain't.
Well, what I'm saying, I think her husband. Did her husband go?
Of course, you know he swagged up in there. He's one of them
because he respected the office.
He was in the office doing the bidding. You better respect it.
Did my girl go up in there?
Who that?
The one who was running against him.
Oh, that's her job. She had to be on stage.
You just said that Trump didn't go to somebody.
Trump didn't go to Biden's. Trump
it's not his job. It was supposed to be his job.
Whatever he want to do. They can break the rules. But the black folks ain't breaking no rules.
No. What I am saying is this. But Biden is white, right?
Biden is
white. So and she represents white power. So what I am saying is that Kamala, and Biden also believes in this idea of respecting the office because for a whole year or what have you, or whenever, however long, they've been saying that this guy's a criminal. This guy is a Nazi. This guy is a dictator. This guy is going to send us to hell and back. But now they have to respect the office.
Proper say you ain't got to respect no office.
So this is what they're showing you. If you really thought this man was a criminal, why did you show up?
Because they're all in the same gang. They're all in the same club.
No. That's not my question. I'm asking you a question. If you really believe this man was a criminal, why did you show up?
Because he's not a criminal. They're now in the same club.
No,
they're only a criminal when they trying to get the office.
They're sharing that you must keep order, you must respect the office, you must respect the halls of democracy, you must respect all these little talking points they say until it doesn't work for them.
That's it.
But they're showing, and Nelly just follows suit. Nelly like, look, I was taught to respect the office, Mr. President. You know how many people? Look, come on. You better call him president.
Your girl Hotel is here. Callie, Sister E, welcome.
Hey, bring Prop up in the room. Prop, come on up on here. We need to hear some of that.
Prop, let me put the link in for you. But I got a little. I want to share something. Before Proper comes on. It's a little dark, but we're gonna add it to the stage. Can you see it?
You're gonna have to blow it up.
Can you see it more now?
You have to blow it up, make it bigger.
Yeah, I can't.
I can read it if I put my head to the screen.
Well, I can read it for the people. It's from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. It says, message from the acting secretary. We are taking steps to close the agency diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility offices and in the DEI related contracts in accordance with President Trump's executive orders titled Ending Radical and Wasteful Government, DEI programs, and prefacing, I can't read that rest, but this is from the acting secretary of defense. So they're getting rid of all those programs. So this is immediately, he's been in office, 3 days? They ain't taking no time. I can't really read this, so I don't want to. But this is I thought this was so poignant, and it's from Tard B. Hunter, the acting secretary. So they're actually getting real contracts. I saw today on the web where a guy wrote to President Trump, his wife, they just sold their house and they were moving to DC, and they got rid of her job and told her don't come.
What?
I was just reading that today. I said, wow, people really thought that this would not happen, but it's happening. And
well, I do want to say that. I do want to say this though, when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. I never really. I think idealistically, diversity and equity is not a bad thing. Inclusion, I don't necessarily, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I necessarily even care for that word.
Well, inclusion makes somebody else. It's not going to be black people only. It's all of the others.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think I agree with what even Brother David said last night about inclusion. Like, why do we want to be included with? Do we really want to be included in that way?
He said that we're greater. So why are we looking to be?
I don't know if I agree with that, but I go with Dr. with my man Elder said Dr. John Henry Clark. Dr. John Henry Clark says that it's not that we necessarily greater than them. We just had so much time to perfect it, much more time to perfect it. Yeah. But I will say this: equity. I think last night when I was listening, it kept being conflated for equality, and equality and equity are two different things. And I don't think it's about being equal to people. Equity is not. It doesn't mean I'm trying to be equal to you. It's really saying I want the same. I want. It's like fairness in a sense, right? It's like it helps. It's supposed to be equitable, meaning that, let's say, if you are a person that is shorter or what have you, that you also have a fair chance, and people just don't create these things in ways where you don't also get a fair chance in society. So I see Proper's joined us.
I'm going to bring him up, but the acting secretary, he said these programs divided Americans by race, wasted taxpayer dollars, and resulted in shameful discrimination.
Who, Trump?
This is what the Secretary of Defense says. It amazes me how they know what shameful discrimination is. So they said these programs from DEI, that's what it did. It divided people, and they're aware of the efforts by some in government to disguise these programs, and they're giving you 10 days. And after 10 days, they're coming. So they really mean this, and they're putting all of their systems behind it. So they're going to police it. They have consequences, and they're going to get rid of anything that falls under DEI.
I don't even know how they're going to. So that is the programs themselves, or is that like if you were hired through the practices of DEI, we're going to get rid of?
Yeah, it says in addition to the above, all personnel are directed to withdraw any final or pending documents, directives, orders, materials, and equity plans issued by the agency in response to now repealed Executive Order 14035, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Accessibility in the Federal Workforce. It came in June 25th, 2021. These actions must be taken immediately, but no later than January 31st, 2025.
Okay, what are you saying? Just help me out. I mean, you sharing all this.
They're saying that everything from the jobs, people are going to lose jobs because they did have some job initiatives around DEI. Anything that's a directive to include folks.
What's your thoughts about it?
My thoughts is I don't know too many people who that look like me who've gotten any special movement from any of these initiatives. So I don't know if they had teeth. I don't know if they've helped anyone. I'm not clear.
Okay, so are you afraid?
No, not afraid. And I know that what we do need to do is this should focus us more on what we need to do personally and with our community.
I'm certain Proper has a perspective.
That's his name. What's up, Proper? Happy 2025.
I mean, I don't,
That's his name.
I'll be honest with you. I don't really, I haven't delved in this stuff deep enough to really have an opinion. And I could come across as, I don't want to come across as cold, right? Because it's naturally my mind is like we need to build for our own, but I also don't want to come across as non-empathetic to people who this is going to impact. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because some people are going to lose their positionings and stuff. You're right.
Like part of me though is a little like, okay, it's going to lead us to building some things. And when the fire hits the pot, no, we will. We're resilient people, so I don't think there's a people who has proven that they will build when they have to any more than us. So I mean, Proper, go ahead and break this down. Proper, break the perspective. I really, cause I mean, I haven't been paying attention to this stuff, but I know you in these internet streets looking at all these things.
He's a political guy. Break it down, Prop.
Okay, hold on. I mean, I hope y'all can hear me.
We can.
I'm catching up. I'm trying to catch up because I was doing a couple of things and I was listening to y'all and talking on the phone and doing some other things. So what's the question?
Dog, catch him up, dog. Bring him up.
The DEI, the Misleadership, the Snoop Dogg, the little thug, the little homeboy around the corner, little Slim over there, and the DEI hire, whatever they got rid of all these things. I have not had a chance to really look at these things, but as I was saying, I can come across as a bit cold because I really think that we do need to do for ourselves, but nonetheless. I have not studied enough to really have an informed opinion. I want to hear somebody who I know probably has looked at this stuff and thought about it, and at least, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree with you that we need to, do our own thing. But it's to some extent, it's like, I mean, everybody can't be, there's going to be a certain number of us that can work in an entrepreneurial method and create our own streams of revenue. And there are others of us who, for whatever reason, cannot do that. So everybody can't be, the entrepreneur. There's always going to be people that do need to work for, the enemy, the government, et cetera, et cetera. And so for me, I've always aspired to work like in an entrepreneurial manner, but I've always been in a situation where I've always had to work for somebody. I went into education. So I've always worked for the system. I've always worked for the man or whatever else we call Uncle Sam. So when you're in that world, there are supposed to be certain protections that come with those jobs. If you are a teacher, unless you personally desire to work outside of the regular school calendar, you're pretty much guaranteed your summers off. That. Now, if somebody wants to come in and say, I'm going to be a disruptor and I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and I'm going to have y'all teachers working all year round. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, say what I signed up for, to say what I've been working for. I've been here for 10 years. Hold on. No. What do you mean? Now we got other departments and agencies that would be set up. You might have a union that says, you can't make these changes. Oh, I can't make those changes because y'all got a union. Well, I'm going to outlaw unions. How about that? So that's for me, that's the type of situation that like what Trump is doing with DEI. There are departments inside companies that have been set up to ensure that everybody gets a fair shake. I know people that have worked in human resources Um, I studied human resources.
Okay.
I took courses in human resources. I sat in classrooms where I'm the only person in the classroom who's coming into this program from the perspective of a worker, an employee. Everybody else is in this program from the perspective of being a manager, a human resources manager. So they're all in these courses, like, and and they're approaching everything like my job is to protect the company. I'm walking into the thing like my job is to protect the worker. And so we end up with this, even in the class itself, there's this great divide, and there's this negative tension and dialogue. And it's blowing my mind when I'm learning, like, even in human resources, like, the instructors will tell you, the course books will tell you, here's how you can break the law without breaking the law. Here's how you can fire people without getting in trouble. If you do it this way, then you're gonna get an EEO lawsuit. But don't say these words and they can't come after you. And then you have somebody like Trump that's like, oh, well, so why can't we say these words? Oh, because there's something written in this particular law that says if you say this word, you get in trouble. Well, can we get rid of the law? Only if you sign an executive order.
Is there an example of that right now?
I would say, like, I haven't delved that deeply into his latest ones because he just did it the other day.
Okay.
But I do know, for instance, I remember another old school case where I think it used to be called set asides. It used to be called set asides, where the government was told you have to set aside a certain number of positions, whether it's you're giving it out in contracts or just basic employee slots or what have you. And people went to court. White people went to court and wanted to challenge it, and they said, well, if you got 100 slots, and normally we looked at the history of it, and all 100 slots always get filled with white guys. Something don't look right. There's something this don't sound right. It don't feel right. So then we create this legislation, set asides, affirmative action, and all this other, all these other buzzwords. The DEI is all the same. It's like the same structure. It's reprogrammed because every time we set something up, they challenge it until they can strike it down.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, just like with abortion, they won the abortion case. And from the moment that abortion case was won, they began challenging it. It took them 30 years, but they challenged it in every manner possible so that they could finally break it down. So they do the same thing. So they had set asides, and it's like, well, now we get this set aside rule. Out of the 100 slots, 10 of those got to go to a non-white. And then then they start doing that, and they'll give 10 jobs to a black person, or 5 jobs to a black, and 4 jobs to a woman, and 1 extra job to an Asian, or whatever it is. And the white folk get mad. I'm being discriminated against. And they go back to court, and they figure out a way. Oh, set asides is illegal. Well, then it goes back to now you get to hire 100 white guys again until we come up with another legal framework to reposition that entire program. And then it starts all over again until some white guy decides I'm going to sue. And they do it in employment. They do it in education. So now I can't personally tell you like the dead exact specifics because I haven't been looking at it that long. But I do know this is a common thing, that every time there is something that gets set up that's supposed to create a sense of quote unquote fairness, all the white people get their panties in a bunch, and then they go to work and they figure out how to challenge it, and they just break it down one piece at a time until they get their final gusto. And Trump is the final gusto right now. So I mean, I'll say that as far as like, like I said, like I know people that have gotten jobs in the DEI department in like where I worked. Yeah, their job is on the line. just to be the person. I knew somebody that was working in the EEO office. And so now it's like, oh, well, there is no more equal employment opportunity. So bye.
Mm. Wow.
You're
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So I mean, when I listen to this, it goes back to what I'm kind of. I thank you for that. And I
Yeah.
haven't had a chance to really digest it either, right?
Mhm.
But so that's why I shared, because part of me, I know I have the inclination to say, uh, you know, we have to build our own,
Mhm.
and I still think and I'm not even coming from the standpoint that we have to build our own, right?
Mhm.
And there be let's say everybody becomes entrepreneurs. I am
Mhm.
suggesting that we support the entrepreneurs or the institutions that we currently have a little bit more. I know
Mm-hmm.
100%.
you know what I mean? Or I mean, I'm also saying that we should probably also support even, unionizing more. I'm not saying one way. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to be like, we don't even want to unionize. I think we have to be able to we have to take risks. And
Yeah.
lots of times we don't want to unionize even because
Mhm.
we are afraid.
This
And
is
then
true.
because we are afraid and we don't want any type of friction, you don't
Mhm.
protect yourself.
Right.
And
Mm.
so again, we have to, from my standpoint, we have to feel this.
Right.
We have to have Trump in here shaking some shit up to wake you up. Excuse my language, y'all.
Mhm.
Because
I agree.
we've been asleep too long.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
we
this.
and we think there's power in those people who may come next 4 years or maybe the next 8 years from now. And we
Yeah.
think that they're doing something for us. I
Yeah.
Mhm.
My argument is that all the things that we feel is a direct response to the lack of response or response that we've had before.
Mhm.
Mm. I
So
agree.
here we have a Trump. Here we have all these things. We've been too comfortable.
I
Well, Don,
agree.
when he was first president, I said that he was important because he's showing the how malicious these white in real time how they can be, and he didn't have a filter, so the
Mhm.
world was able to see, how this white male who have been all the presidents and how, without the guards up that they come in and the smoothing just straight. I don't like you,
Mhm.
or I'm going to take from you, or I'm going to get rich. My kid's going to get rich. He showed you in real. So I think the world needed to see that, and we needed to see that too. And then we went through a disaster like COVID that I think we
Mhm.
just forgot. We forgot that he killed people.
Yeah.
So we need him again to shake you up again because maybe you need to get it. Like get you
Yeah.
the way for some type of what we would say this American dream ain't through the movie that we've been shown. We got
No,
to create that dream. Go
I
ahead.
mean that's true. I think. I think for the most part, it's sad and it's unfortunate, but oppressed people need to see their oppressor
Ooh.
at all times.
In real time. Yeah, it can't hide. Right. Wow.
So I try to say it that way because it's not necessarily only a black thing. Of course, it's a black thing for us in this country, but
Yes.
so in those terms, when we get to see the nice master,
Mm.
it makes it a little harder to run off the plantation. It's a lot
Mm.
easier to run off the plantation when you got the master that will crack your behind 45 times just for taking an apple.
Mm.
But when you got the master that will bring you a plate of food, all right, I'm gonna take a nap and I'm gonna get back into the fields.
Yeah,
And at least for me, Biden was the nice master.
But he was a master, baby.
and he
He
told you
Don't
was
that.
a master.
He
don't get
told you
that twisted.
I did more for
I
y'all
can
than
stand him. He's the
anybody.
master,
I
baby.
did more for y'all niggers more than
Please.
anybody.
The
Yeah,
worst
and
master
like
of
you can
all of
pull up
them.
any of the slave movies and find that same speech.
That would, yes. I think he wrote that down. He plagiarized.
But I mean, but there is another perspective though, and I think that I get what my brother is saying. I don't know if I agree. I just thought that I would read it here. My brother Donald was on yesterday. He says what Trump is fighting
Want me
in
to
his
put it up?
oh yeah, you put it up, yeah. he said it is his personal fight. The funniest and most ironic aspect of his fight is that his fight is actually Black America's fight, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Black America's fight. See, he did say that Black America's fight, but we now don't understand it because what's the next one, Queen? For the last 60 years, our political and social understanding of the world affairs, whether local, national, international, has been skewed and purposely misdirected. Now, I think that this is what my brother David is.
I think it has a little merit when he
David
broke it down. You know,
David Johnson said.
yeah,
Now,
last night. Yeah.
Now, I tend to believe that they really believe that Trump is going to do more than. I mean, he's really more than what he really is. However, I can see how one could think that. But go ahead, brother. Perspective. I hear you. I see you responding. I see words coming off your eyebrow. You know what I'm saying? Go. Hold on, real quick, family. Can y'all see us? Can you see the genetics? Can y'all see the genetics? He my big cousin. Can y'all see that? We both handsome, right?
Oh my God.
You know, so go.
Jesus.
Look,
Look at him rubbing his chin. Like,
yeah, you're right, bro. You're right.
He rubbing his chin like I'm handsome. Oh, y'all are killing me.
No, now I mean the comment that's a challenging comment. Like I agree with the idea that Trump is fighting his own personal fight. You know, I can see that.
Without a doubt.
I can see that. You know, he got his personal axe to grind with half of or with all of DC and he's working it. So yeah, I agree with that. I don't see that his fight is our fight. I can't necessarily come up with. I can maybe come up with one example, and I hope that's not the one of the examples that he might be referring to, because I don't think it is a fight that we should be involved in. But the only thing I can think of is because I see a lot of people talking about or siding with Republicans and siding with like what I would call the religious fanatics because they are anti LGBTQ.
You hear nothing but hold up, just stop. You ain't even gotta ask that question. That was the whole I didn't even look at the whole conversation, but suddenly that was the conversation.
Right.
And I was so surprised to see Queen on there. Because Queen is normally an advocate, but she did an excellent job. But hold up, Queen, you don't smooth Queen. You know, go.
Because you only said that exact thing, but once he kind of laid it out, I was like, wow, it's a little sensical, but it's still Trump is still an agent and a problem. No, but he's saying that his fight definitely we can use that fight.
But catch what I was saying though. Purely what brother Perspective was saying. Mm-hmm. Is exactly what it was, because the idea of the conversation was that the LGBTQ plus community is they have usurped, and to a great degree, I believe that. I know that's true. But what I am saying is though, I don't literally think. But Perspective, go ahead, proper. What I'm really saying is you're on the ballpark because also he's our dear brother is a Hebrew Israelite, so he has a strong religious underpinnings. Yes.
Okay. Well, now I'm like, okay, and maybe I'm understanding it from a way that I shouldn't be. Like, if you say that whole whatever word that gay or what that alternative lifestyle agenda, if you're saying that's Black America's fight, maybe I don't understand what you mean by that, because I'm like,
he wasn't saying that. He said no, he wasn't saying that.
Okay, because
no. What he's saying is not that the LGBT plus community is for us to fight for the LGBT plus community, but actually they are our enemy. That is essentially what he's saying.
Okay, so they are our enemy.
Yes.
Okay, now
you gotta understand the school. Irritated Genie, Daryl Muhammad, dear brother Daryl Muhammad, and he comes from the Steve Coakley mindset. You gotta understand the framing here. You understand the boule, the small hats, all these type of terms.
Yeah, and every time I run into those brothers, I tend to take a walk. I don't think that is. I understand that there is a lot of a lot of people, a lot of talk in our community about that being a major roadblock, an obstacle, a fight that is something that we are up against, so to speak. And I'm just like, I've never been convinced that that is truly our enemy. I don't necessarily
That what is truly our enemy? That the boule or
well the LGBTQ,
all the letters, the alphabet.
the letters, yeah, the alphabet soup. Like it's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say. You know, we got damn near Klansmen in office writing legislation to render significant numbers of our community unemployed. But our biggest problem is a gay man and a lesbian woman. No.
Or like, transgender.
Or transgender. Yeah. I don't like the transgender thing. No, I don't think transgender men or whatever they want to call them should be fighting in women's sports. But is that at the top of my agenda? Is that in the top 10 of my agenda? I'm sorry, but I'm like, well, okay, no, it's just not. Like if, and I know a lot of us aren't, but if we're talking about reparations, gay people is not an obstacle to that. If we're talking about police brutality, gay people is not trampling on our rights. If we're talking about fixing the schools so our children can go to schools and receive an education and be taken care of in the school, I still don't see LGBTQ plus as the stumbling block.
Lost, but too proper. I think we get lost with the alphabets. But these are white men. They are, the alphabets are in power because white men are dominating that argument also. So what you see is white men on both edges. It's just white men who have a different sexuality than these heterosexual men. But it's still white men. It's still a white male agenda.
You know, it's not out for their whiteness, because it's their whiteness the
alphabets aren't black people.
That's messing us up.
Yeah. You know, and to jump in there though, I'm gonna tell you where I agree with that, but I also diverge a bit. And where I diverge a bit is that we always say white men. Even the day I heard the sister, what's the sister everybody like? Her name is Kalonji. What's her name? The sister who reads people inside of the Senate. What's her name?
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett was on sister Queen had to adjust her seat when I said Jasmine Crockett name. She's like, okay, hold up there, hold up.
No, I said her name.
All hands off Crockett. All hands off Crockett. You know, but I mean, I think that she says I think she's a profound sister. But again, the part of the problem is, again, as I articulate all the time, is that we have to figure out what fight we're talking about. We talking about the greater fight for liberation, or we talking about our fight within the system to maintain it, or to maintain the some of the comforts we get out of it. And I think both fights are kind of important, right? But the reality is, I think that sometimes, like, some of us are talking about from a liberational stance, and so, I'm talking about disruptive system stance, and some of us are talking about, look, let's keep this thing going, which is more of a liberal stance, and I think both are fair. And one thing that Jasmine Crockett said earlier today, I heard her say, her response was, that if it was like, really, she was just saying white men. She was like, everybody else should be fighting white men. If you're not a white man, you should be fighting. And I think they are deluded by the white woman. Like, what like she birthed him, I always say. She benefits from him, I always say. Like because DEI is impacting everybody. Look, it doesn't matter if the same lady who marries the white man is going to get rid of DEI, because she's still going to benefit from it. It's not like, what I'm saying is, we keep letting white women off. And that is my major issue, because it's not only white men. White women run the academia. They run liberal arts. They run humanities. They run the social sciences, and the social sciences is what run this goddamn world. So So now the social sciences, now these white men are mad at these white women who went too far. Who went too far. I gotta agree with my man David Johnson to some degree. I don't agree with him on this extreme. I think he's a bit extreme. But what I'm saying is, to some degree, these white women have there's no boundaries. There's no limits to this. There's no the culture is no longer important. Standards and values and what is there's no such thing. There's no level of normality. And I guess, I'm not saying people should describe or prescribe your normality, like black people should. Normality should not be prescribed by white folk. Although Trump is trying to prescribe our normality now by saying this is going to be a merit-based system, and then my man saying he ain't for equality, or people are saying they're not for equal. What's the word? What's the word, y'all? Diversity, equity. They're not for equity. But the equity and equality are two different things. I think we have to make that very clear. If you're not for equity, I don't understand why not. Now, I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't be for equity. Equity is fairness. It's fair.
It's fairness,
You can't be communal and not be for equity.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Perspective.
I don't think most people understand equity, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to some extent, they shouldn't understand it because, in the general course of things, it has not been talked about. Like, it's always been talked. Equality is what has been talked about. Now it may be that, like, even in the 60s and 70s, when we were talking about equality, we may have been describing equity. We may have been fighting for equity, but the word we used was equality. That was the buzzword. So I think that's a part of why a lot of people just don't necessarily perceive the actual difference and the real difference. To some extent, just like with racism, just like the word racism, a lot of people don't really perceive the difference between or understand the real definition of racism. Like, a lot of times, we get off by saying, this person is a racist and it's because they don't like me. And it's like, that's not really what racism is. Equity and equality are different, but most people don't, like, they've never heard. I remember going to a training and they were breaking down the difference between equality and equity. And I'm looking around the room in the training and everybody's jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
And this is adults in a professional work setting. Everybody has been schooled and educated and trained and this, that, and the other, and still nobody knows what equity is. So I'm like, well, yeah. Now, once you get to the end of the training and the workshop, and everybody's like, okay, now I get it. But that's for the working professional. The common man, like, the term equity has just come around recently, really since COVID. Since George Floyd and COVID is when equity became a buzzword.
Okay, you mean it's a buzzword, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the general public lives off of buzzwords.
Right. And Kamala was actually, if no one understood equity before, you should have understood equity after Kamala, because she kept saying it over and over and over again, although she might have fumbled a couple words and all these type of things. But let's go ahead and just break down equity, because I just was like, why is this? Like, I think what you're saying is equality. Trump would agree. The person that you're saying that you want to follow, Trump would agree with equality, because this is this merit-based system. Give everybody an equal chance to go out and get the money and serve and, pull themselves up from their bootstraps and be meritocracy. How do you say the word? Citizens. But it says equity refers to fairness and justice in the way people are treated and resources are distributed, taking into account the different needs, barriers, and disadvantages of individuals or groups. Unlike equality, which focuses on providing some resources or opportunities to everyone, equity aims to level the playing field by addressing systemic imbalances and ensuring that everyone has what they, I guess, need or something like that. But nonetheless, what a need to achieve similar outcomes. That's what I was saying. So that is like fair. Like, if you like really a communal person, and you understand that your brother may not have the same skill as you, or your sister might not have the same skill as you, then basically you say, you know what, they have a skill, I have a skill, I might have this skill, but this skill is not more valuable, or even let's say it is, but I'm still going to make sure that my brother and sister don't go without. You understand? But if you're down for equality, if you're just saying equality, that's saying, look, he ain't got no legs, he can't chop no wood, fend for himself, shit. Fend for himself. It's not my problem that he ain't got no legs. You understand? So go ahead and
So
turn
when
it
y'all
up.
says this, make a level playing field, that's equity, not
Yes.
particularly equality. Correct?
Yes.
Making no. Making it a level
Well,
playing field, it could be seen both ways a little.
Okay.
Just to be clear, is that Sister Ya, Dr. Ya?
I don't know. Y'all Asante way Sai.
Okay. Okay. Making it a level playing field can also be looked at as equality, but it's really the outcomes to make sure, like we can put a level playing field, and then we all be running. But I'm fat, so I might not be able to run and get the berries as fast as you, Queen. So you go get the berries, like Negro. I'm sorry, the playing field's level. So so you just need to run faster.
Well, D Cliff kind of broke it down. Equality means everyone gets shoes. Equity means everyone gets shoes that fit them. I don't know.
can I don't know if I can do this, but can I
I think D Cliff is somewhat right. Equality means everyone gets shoes. I don't think so. I don't think everyone gets shoes. They mean everybody gets the same chance to get some shoes. And if you
Yeah.
didn't get the money, if you didn't run fast enough to get the shoes, you
You
out.
won't get none.
You're right.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 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 Okay. I agree with you with your assessment. Go ahead, Proper.
Well, I was gonna see if I could I wanted to like try to
Share your
share
screen.
my screen so I can see there's a picture, there's an image that gets floated around a little, you know what I'm saying, when people discuss equality versus equity. And I could try to describe it, but like if you actually saw it, it's like,
Can you share your screen?
let me see,
You
let me
can?
see.
You see present.
Present.
Slides,
Hey,
video
cuz
Hit
you was
present
files,
at the bottom. You should be able to share
share
your screen.
screen.
he was looking real young until he had to read. He put his glasses on, and then he squinted his eyes with the glasses
What
on.
is wrong with
Like,
you?
come on, cuz, man, don't be, look, you gotta represent for the Winklers, brother. I'm
Oh
sorry.
God.
Let me see that. So is it showing?
There you
I don't
go.
know if it's
I got
showing.
it. I got it.
Okay, you got it.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So this is like for me, when I saw like this type of image or graphic, I was like, okay, now you really working with something. Equality.
Mm.
Everybody gets the
Everybody has
same
a chance at the same level.
assistance, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you come to the game, and there are inherent differences in each person, equality doesn't do anything, because
Preach.
this little short guy over
I
here
love that. They
never
put it
gonna
up.
get a chance to
They
see
put
this
the
game.
midget. They gave the midget a little more. I love
Preach, preach, Papa, preach.
it.
So right, so this nails it. Or at least it
That nails it.
crystallizes it, so people can say, well, wait a minute now. Once you put this together, then if you sit up there and you listen to these politicians and you listen to Trump and all these pundits, and they're saying we want everything to be equal right on down the line, it's like, yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. Because then now you can look at this and be like, okay, well, this tall guy over here probably represents the white male. So yeah, of course you want everything to be equal, because it ain't helping nobody but you.
I agree with everything besides you said probably. There was no reason to say probably.
Right. I will definitely take that out.
I mean, I know they made them brown or green. I don't know my colors that well. Whatever color that arm
right.
is. What color is that? Is that brown or green?
Yeah, they trying to make it all look like they brown skin, melanated type people.
All right, so if we had to change the colors, we would have to say that's the white man for sure. Although he got a bald spot, he got a little he got a little bald spot, but he's still old and got that old money. That's what that's representing.
Exactly.
That bald spot representing old money. My man right here in the middle, you can tell he got athletic calves. But the
Exactly.
reality is, he still, he still ain't got the old money, so he trying to jump on something, give him a little boost up,
Uh-huh.
but but then the other brother, yeah, I mean, yeah,
What you gonna get a midget? What the midget got?
the dwarf. So
He
Long
he need
arms.
he need more. He need two of
the
those boxes.
And if that's your family, and that's your community, you don't let
Mhm.
the dwarf suffer because, and you don't make the dwarf, you have to consider the dwarf
Right.
Mhm.
because he or she brings her special uniqueness to the community. And from an African centered communal collective this perspective,
Mhm.
everybody's valued.
Exactly.
In the
Exactly.
West, what we see on the left, this is what the West represents. In fact, I would even argue that we don't even have equality. We don't even have equality. Equality is a thing, but for
Mhm.
but for real, it ain't even no equality because you don't even have that stool.
Exactly.
So
Mm.
I
to
would agree
fight
with
for
that.
so to fight for equality, even Trump saying this meritocracy or creating equal opportunity, that's letting you know that it's not equal already. But so we're
Mhm.
going to give equality, not equity. And I'm saying that equity is important.
Hmm.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm gonna stop sharing.
That's a
So
that's a great picture.
thank you,
I mean, that's a
appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah,
great example. In other words.
yeah. So look, I'm gonna try to get out here today.
Mhm.
So Queen, where are we going at though? Before we so because I
Well,
know
we
we have
talked
a
about
lot.
equity and equality, but
Mhm.
what about Black leadership? What should we expect, and what is what is going to be paraded in front of us? Because we see that everyone, people fold when the money comes into the door. So,
Mhm.
is this misleadership on every level? Because I don't think our rappers are leaders. We make them leaders,
Well,
but I don't think they're
no, they,
leaders.
they they made them leaders. We didn't make them leaders, and they understand
Mhm.
that everybody loves their entertainers, not just black people. I look. Let me back something up real quick. Let me. When I hear people say, I'm gonna be honest, it's a pet peeve of mine. When
Mhm.
you hear somebody say we the only people, no, they lying.
Ooh, ooh.
Okay. All right. I mean, if they don't know they lying, they're just misinformed. Okay. I
Mhm.
can't
Okay.
stand it. We're the only people. That's not going to help us move nowhere. We're not the only people that are celebrity bound. The whole damn white people, the Queen of England is a celebrity. She ain't no goddamn monarch. That's a celebrity. The
You
Pope
better
is a
know it.
celebrity. Is
Mhm.
there any biggest religious celebrity?
Mhm.
Is there anybody bigger than Britney Spears? Whenever white people are celebrity bound, that's why they always use. What's that lady who said vote for Kamala this year? The white girl from Pittsburgh. What's her name?
Vicksburg. Oh, you
The
mean
white. I don't. The white
Taylor
lady.
Swift?
Taylor Swifty. The Swifties. Why do you think they pull
Oh,
Swift out? Black people ain't the only people to follow celebrities. Are we out of our minds? I know we think that we're gonna scare straight. It don't work. And making people feel like they're dumb and the only stupid people in the world, that's not going to help uplift us. Or we the only ones. You's a goddamn lie. You's a lie.
Got fired up,
Either you a
baby.
lie or you misinformed. I'm sorry. Enough of it. Hold up, hold up. Crazy that principles based on empathy, community, and love. Look. I think I'll give him a shot. That's one of my students.
Okay,
He's a
Nate.
white boy.
He's a white boy.
Nate is my white revolutionary. You understand? Go ahead, Nate. Tell
Power
him.
to Nate. Welcome, Nate.
Look, when I was at Waynesburg, Nate was one of the few that gave me some stimulation up there. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. But
Yeah.
Nate said
Mhm.
crazy that principles based on empathy, community, and love are considered radical. That's this country, though, Nate.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's what this country is.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's like
Hold on, let me back that up real quick. Nate is not my student. That's a student still. He's my former student. Nate is a professional. He's a counselor, therapist. I think he's down in Florida doing good work. Nate, let the
Okay,
people know
Nate.
who you are. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
snowing in Florida. Okay, Nate. All right, go ahead, Proper.
oh well, I what is the question you asked? You asked something about what
Yeah,
can
I
we
said about
expect from
Black
our
leaders.
leaders?
Yeah.
I think
Or
if
all these
we
leaders, because it really is not color right now.
well,
We
I
have
think if we focus on the people who are actually in leadership positions,
mm-hmm.
like it's very easy for us to look at the entertainers as if they were leaders.
Okay.
We're accustomed to doing it, but the leaders are the mayor, the state representatives, the congressional Black Caucus, the people who have been elected into these positions to effect change in the legislation. Those are our leaders, whether we like them or not. Now, we know we are not going to have any impact on Trump and other Republican oriented, conservative oriented elected officials. But within our cities, our neighborhoods where there are Black people or whatever race that we voted for, and if we if you're in a strong Black populated area like Baltimore is, Richmond, you can go down to that school board and scare the hell out of them. Y'all gonna do something. Y'all better find the money to fix that classroom.
Yeah, that's like on a communal basis.
I don't know for y'all in Baltimore, but like Richmond City schools have been on the news because stuff is falling out the ceiling and critters are running across the floor. But we can't go look at we can't ask the rapper to fix that. We got to go to the school board to fix that. We got to go to the mayor to fix that. So if we readjust ourselves and begin to put pressure on the people who are in elected positions that can effect that change, then we can get a lot done.
Okay.
The problem with that though is that when I think that's important, right? On especially on local levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they have their own level of challenges, and paychecks sometimes and funding and things like that often also impact them. Yeah. They have to be very careful in the decisions they make, or they will not be in position. We have to that we have to also understand that leaders, quote unquote, politicians are also bought, paid for, and also they can be dismantled and forgotten about and put out of office if you talk about groups like APAC and all that type of thing, right? So when you talk about the best of our, quote unquote, those of them who showed up in those ways have been silenced, ousted, and discarded. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, because I agree. I definitely agree that there's some people here in Baltimore, and there's groups that I would say on the grassroots, these are organizations that we must support. You understand? Our own institutions that can put some fire behind people, kind of like, I'm going to say everybody from every type of sphere, but including, like, I'll give you a great organization in Baltimore that does a political sphere like none other, will be Leaders of Beautiful Struggle, who put some level of fire or influence behind. They struggle and challenge with our elected officials, right? And our elected officials like to be celebrities too. Our elected officials ain't nothing but celebrities. They are, especially if they Black. I ain't seen one that wasn't yet. What I'm saying is they become a certain level of celebrity. What is D Cliff saying? You kind of throwing me off. What does it say?
I'm sorry. Well, he said it a lot. He's talking about even elected officials are not truly leaders.
I'm trying to see the man's face I'm talking to, though. Sister Queen.
Okay,
I'm trying to see my. I'm messing with you. But look, but yeah, we can put D Cliff up there. Let's see. Even elected officials are not truly leaders. I would agree. They are representatives, supervisors, lobbyists, and managers. A true leader is a person who inspires others to follow them. Y'all know Black people can't handle that follow word. People in elected positions. See, that's part of the issue right there. We need mental health treatment. And I'm telling you that Black people, not just Black people, but I'm talking about Black people today, because what we've been through has us not being able to trust trustworthy leadership. We are more attracted to celebrities by proxy, they become leaders because we model them in their lifestyles, and their lifestyles aren't even really true and real. So people in elected positions, Cliff says, are only leaders if they can do that. Otherwise, they are merely figureheads. And that is what I agree with that. And I'll go here to say that I agree with what Papa is saying. And I don't know, somebody gonna have to break down what our dear Baba elder ancestor
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community or over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
So I diverge a bit from what our dear ancestor is saying when he says show in the white community. Of course, I just want to keep that consistent with what I said earlier. But I do understand his sentiment. And his sentiment is, just because the celebrities have been weaponized against us and put in positions of leadership, it ain't nowhere you don't go. You can go inside of a local meeting here in Baltimore, and you can be a true scholar like myself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, why y'all laughing?
You're right.
I'm messing with you.
You don't want no problem.
No
problem. You're right.
Like proper and an advocate like Queen, right? And then they gonna go find this football player, the church,
Ray Lewis.
Church.
They gonna bring in Ray Lewis.
It ain't even Ray Lewis. I'm saying it's the one they could afford to get there. the one that's on the bench even. And they he's a football player. He went to City High School, or it's called City College. And then now somehow he come in and he get 30 minutes of talking time, and they might give you 5 minutes, and he ain't got no type of analysis.
Right.
And then the people who are supposed to be the leaders are bowing down to these people. So even if they aren't the leaders, the people that are the leaders are bowing down so they can get seats in the stadium, or they can get a ride in the car, or they can get some of that Luchino, or they can go out and on vacation. But I get it. It's a very complex situation.
This is true. This is all true. I mean, it's true. We have to figure out a way to decrease our infatuation with celebrity, or if not decrease the infatuation, then at least be mature enough, sober up enough to figure out more effective ways to utilize celebrity.
Yeah.
If like I like to think about the idea that like when during certain marches and King was thrown in jail, it was Harry Belafonte that showed up with money to bail him out. So he because of his celebrity and because of his money, he was able to show up and make sure that the leader got out of jail. And without that money, King just would have been sitting behind bars. So
a lot of celebrities were more active then. They were more active then, in the struggle, because they were still being oppressed. Because now they learned that the celebrities don't be oppressed, and so now
because the real leaders were there. The real leaders were recognizable and in charge of things, and so I like that video clip from Malcolm X, but the difference today is we don't have those leaders. All we have left are the entertainers.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that, because then I would say that you're not a leader, right? And that would say that I'm not a leader, right? And that would say that I'm messing with this mic over here like I'm talking through it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm talking through my camera. I had technical difficulties, family, as I shared earlier. But no. We have leaders. The fact is, back then, those leaders, the system has changed. The
He said
system
the
has
entertainers are only leaders. He was saying the entertainers.
I'm disagreeing with that. So
Oh, okay.
the system has changed
Mhm.
Okay.
to the degree that they know who to put on television or who not to put on television. There are plenty of black leaders in our communities, and I'm going to stand and say I am one of them. One of them.
Okay.
One of the many. And I know there's many others out there. I can name some. What I'm saying is, if you're not on MSNBC, doesn't mean that leaders don't exist. If you're not on C-SPAN and CNBC,
Okay.
doesn't mean that leaders doesn't exist. There's plenty of people there. We ain't never had people stop standing up and fighting for us, but they have found creative ways to keep your ASS off the television. And they
Okay,
put
gotcha.
other people on the television that
That's
don't mean us any good and doesn't mean us well. They put these celebrities out here and ask them, they put them out here and ask them what their thoughts are, as if they have a thought.
Well, that's
So let
true.
me ask you a
That's
question.
true.
And I'm not saying no celebrities don't have a thought, because I'm not even sure if I agree totally with the Dick Gregory comment, but I do understand the sentiment. But go ahead.
What I think he was saying too was like the entertainers of before had more they were more pressed, and they were really into civil rights, like the Harry Belafontes and the Sammy Davis Jr.'s at the beginning. They were there, and they were Muhammad Ali. Our entertainers, they've been given this wherewithal where they don't have any thought of what the whole community is doing. Once they get out, they never come back. Or
I agree with that. I agree
Okay.
with that, but I don't think that's what he was saying. But I do agree with what you're saying.
Were you saying that? Probably that's what I thought you were saying.
No. You saying Papa said that?
I thought Papa was saying that the same entertainers.
I was being gentle because I thought you was talking about El Haj. But no, Papa definitely didn't say that.
Yeah, I was saying Papa was saying that the entertainers that of before aren't the entertainers of now.
I wasn't directly saying it. I agree with you that I wasn't directly saying it, but I do agree with that, because I do believe that the entertainers back then were definitely more quote unquote conscious and aware and involved to a greater
community
extent
more
than the entertainers
of now
today.
Exactly.
But I would also say, well, I agree, because the leaders are there, but they're not being given the mic. Whereas in the 60s, they gave the mic to the leader and they would bring on the entertainer. And nowadays, they're definitely overlooking.
They filtered out all of the folks who even have any relationship with the community. Because there are rappers that can be positive, but you don't hear them.
Okay, and again, I'll keep my argument across the board. And so I would say that still, I don't really agree with the argument holistically. And what I mean by that, I do agree with the idea, and I do agree with Al-Haj, Malik Shabazz, and even the conversation that we're having here on a very surface level, and what Brother Cliff is saying on a surface level here, when he says Belafonte, Portier, and Gregory were much more politically astute and courageous than Snoop, Nelly. Well, I agree. No, I agree with him totally on that. But what you said was something a bit different, which I kind of diverge a bit from, and because he put names here, he put names here, so I agree with that. Right. But I'm not saying that there aren't any celebrities or entertainers that are politically astute. Because one thing I will tell you is people who are politically astute, especially people like poets and songwriters and all these people, they're really heavy in a lot of them are activists. In fact, this is what inspires their poetry. Right. You understand? That's true. I mean, I would even say that a lot of civil rights people, so what I'm saying is I think that I'm going to argue that these people still exist, but quite like the leaders that we're saying don't exist, these people too don't get that same airtime. Like for example, I'm not saying I agree with everything that these people do or say, but like Sister Moo Fresh from Baltimore, right? Serious sister, right? But she's very respected in the industry. Roots love her. They know she's a rock star. She's on Tiny Desk. People know her. But the reality is, because she's politically astute, she will
They
not
suppress
get
her.
the same. Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, even
Yeah.
in hip hop communities, my dear cousin, right? You know, dang, I can't tell you his other name.
You
He just
mentioned
forgot.
Lupe. Like they got rid of Lupe. I thought
But
Lupe
but but
had
but I yeah, Lupe, you know, but I'm still saying that I'm saying even on a more grassroots level that people are a
like
little bit
KRS
more
One.
even more no, he's not. No, he's coming. He's like I'll make you believe I'm commercial. If you ever listen to him, I'm sorry. I know y'all love him. I'm sorry, but
I
KRS One
love
be saying
KRS
some.
One now.
He be saying some of the
Progressive
crazy
Griff.
stuff.
That's my boy.
He
Progressive Griff.
you no stop. But look, you never
No.
know what KRS One is going to say out his mouth. And you ever see him on political platforms? I haven't seen him in years, but he used to be on CNS. I mean, on MSN and all these right wing stations back in the day, and all this type of thing. But he said some crazy things. Even ComiN was saying some nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but what happens is sometimes when people they become tired, like we all become tired. And we like, look, they just need to get something. They need to do something. They need to pull themselves up. And sometimes when you out in sweet honeyland, you forget what it is like to be near the people. But it look like Proper. I don't think I said what I was going to say, but I think Proper had something.
Oh no, I'm just reading. I
Oh,
was reading Dick Cliff's comment.
Jasiriak's former rapper and current founder of One Hood is an example of an entertainer who, Brother Cliff, come on up in here before we get up out there. Look, you gotta come on up here
You
too.
writing
Come
too
on,
much.
look, come on up. Look, all this writing and all this thing. You can put it back up, Queen. You can put it back up.
Okay.
Look.
Let me give him the link.
Look, I got Sister Queen. Like, look. I don't want to upset Brother Ausar up on here. Let me take it down fast. I'm just.
Yeah, I want no problem.
I promise you. I don't abuse her at home.
Shut
So
up, Cliff. I put the you make me sick. I put
all right, look, that was a joke, y'all. Queen and I don't live together. That was just
I put
joke,
the link
okay?
in the for Cliff, but Nate gave us something too.
Oh Lord, wait, Nate, don't you beat up on white men. You have whiny white men like Joe Rogan crying about cancel culture while speaking to millions. But it has always been the voices of the oppressed and the revolutionaries that are suppressed. Did we let Nate get a pass today?
No.
Hey, Nate, no, Nate, we ain't giving you no pass. They said they ain't giving you a
Nate,
pass. Nate,
listen, Nate. We put the link in the chat. You and Cliff.
no,
If you
Cliff be
want something
coming.
to say, you ain't got to write. Hit the link and come on in here.
White men like Joe Rogan crying about cancel culture while speaking to millions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but it's
it is always the voices of the press and revolutionaries that are suppressed. You gotta agree with them though.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, you ain't gotta agree with them.
I agree.
Just saying, I agree with them. So, So yeah, I think as a proper perspective just said, we definitely need like he's in here and he's still typing. Definitely need more grassroots activism coming to the forefront. Proper perspective said that, y'all. But anyway, look,
the same guy that's sitting here.
yeah. Look, he just wanted his image to come up on the screen. You hear me?
Oh
Look,
my
put
God,
it back
you
up.
are crazy.
Put it back up there. Look, he wanted y'all to see his dashiki. He said he got multiple colors. You see the one I got on, and you see the one I got on that picture. I got all flavors. You see what I'm saying? I was just look. I got all.
I do
flavors.
rock them though. I do like to rock them.
All right, Queen. We're gonna close this one out, Queen. What you got for us, Mama?
I don't have anything. I just wanted us to. I think this has been a very spirited conversation. And we can go on and on. I think like you said, there are applicable leaders out here that can, that are not be given a platform to speak or to lay their art out. So that is something that is intentional. What is being paraded in front of us is the plans, and so we can't get mad at folk who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The Snoopy and the Nellies and the Soldier Boys and the Rick Ross, it's their job. And so they're going to get the bag and they don't care how they're going to go get it. But when they got something going on, you guys show up. And y'all love the Snoopies and y'all love Rick Ross. He had a big car show every year. Millions come out. So, I mean, we argue now, but we still show up for them too. So the process is we really need to talk about these things. We need to change our mindset and change our behaviors because
Yo,
Trump is here and he's going to change some things. So yeah, we need to change also. That's what I got.
what you got, Prop?
I say cancel Snoop Dogg,
Who?
Nelly, and Rick Ross and
Who?
Soldier Boy and whoever else went to party with Trump. I say cancel them all. I say you know, I don't pull no punches when it comes, especially for hip hop. For me, hip hop has always been. I've always been into hip hop from the conscious and political side, not the party side. So I don't have a lot of patience for. I'm all right with party hip hop, but party hip hop, if you're not gonna be responsible, then I don't have no patience for them. So
Mm.
I say dead all of them, and there's not a lot. It's like I get a little almost like tongue tied when it comes to Trump and all of his antics because I'm like, look, white people and Hispanics put him in office.
Mhm.
I hope they all get what's coming to them. I've seen countless numbers of white people complaining, oh, I didn't know he was gonna do this. Well, you just stupid. I seen Hispanics talking about they didn't. I do yo tengo mis papeles, and you getting put on that boat right along with the ones that don't got no papeles. So
Was that
yeah, I
real?
want to sit back and laugh.
Well, hold up. Was that real? Was that real? I mean, did that
He
mean something?
changed his language. I love it.
What the heck? What the heck was? Hold on. You bilingual?
He said
I
papele.
mean, I
What?
know a
What?
little bit of Spanish,
Oh,
but I'm like,
I mean, I didn't did 4 years of, but what the heck that mean?
I got my papers.
Oh, okay.
But
Papele.
I mean, I know a little Spanish, but I've heard that
Comprende.
phrase. I've heard that phrase so often, even if I didn't know Spanish, I would have picked that up because
Yeah.
it's their justification for voting for him,
Oh,
in
okay.
spite of the fact
But
that
but
black
but
people was telling them they coming for y'all too.
yeah, let me.
And so, okay, you can hold your papers up, and they gonna put the cuffs on the other hand and throw you on the bus and send
Yeah.
you on back across the border.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm
Man,
here to
why?
sit
Why?
my
Hold
case.
on. Why y'all putting all this on our Mexican brothers and sisters? Do you have Mexican numbers or do you have Latino numbers?
I have the Latino X vote, the way it was broken down when I was looking into the after hours reports on who voted for whom. Now, to my knowledge, they don't necessarily
So why
break it.
we don't
They don't
know
break
if the Mexican
Mexican
we
from
don't know what
Latino.
we don't
They
know
don't
no,
break it down.
that's
They
but
ain't
we
gonna, but
but
no, they
don't
not
get
asking questions.
but
They
don't
not
get
asking
that's
questions.
what I'm saying. Don't get confused and become like because the reality is Latino is a category that lumps all types of ethnicities and racial classifications together to cause confusion. So what just
Okay.
because of the language. So what I'm saying is don't I would suggest if we don't have the numbers about Mexicans or Puerto Rico, different ones, it's difficult to kind of because to kind of to parse that out. But I do get the idea though.
I think they
I'm
all
not
voted for
I'm
him.
not parsing it. I'm not. I mean, maybe I
Well,
should,
well,
but I'm not.
you should parse it out because there's Black Latinos too.
Yeah, and I've seen videos with black
Hey Queen, what,
Latinos
hey Queen,
saying
what you and
that
you
they were
saw
voting for
black
Trump.
you saw Black Americans too,
Yeah, and the numbers said that no more than 20% of the black community, and most of
but
that
the
was the
all
black
right,
men.
all right. So see, I can see that you are human. You have a degree in humanities. And you over there you supposed to be like a hard science person.
You make me
So
sick, and you a
so
trip.
I so it's showing up right now. But what I'm saying is, y'all not data driven or statistically nuanced right now.
Okay,
I
I'm
do
not.
but
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm
So
not.
what I'm
Well,
saying is
20% of the blacks, yes, but they were mostly black men. I
no,
mean,
but
that's
we
the
have
breakdown.
but you got to understand the way that they even play tricks on us because
Okay.
like they play tricks on us. Now we talking about like you can almost call everybody, you can even call Haitians Latino to some degree. Like what I'm saying is there's a debate. You got to really understand what you're looking at here.
Okay. I mean, I'm
But if you
open
do
for
that,
I'm
dog, does
open
that
for new
still
understanding.
negate
Okay,
the
people from
breakdown? Does
Brazil.
it still
Yes,
negate the
you
breakdown?
because it's not clear exactly what groups did what. Are you talking about Cubans? Are you talking about white Cubans? Are you talking about Latinos who identify as black, white, or other. So
But
what
it
I'm saying
still
is
was
I
a
get
large percentage of whoever it was.
right, but what you got to also understand is 50% of Latinos identify as white.
Okay.
What?
They
But
are
now
white
you're
to
throwing.
me.
But they're not being counted in the number of, like, when they do that breakdown and they say 55% of white people voted for Trump.
Yeah.
They know that that's 55% of straight WASP white people. Ain't no Cubans being counted
no,
in that.
I know, but it's not as clean when you look at this category called Latino. You don't know what you're looking at. You just hearing Latino. You don't know which Latinos. That's such a broad category.
But what I'm saying, even if we knew, there's still a large percentage of them who voted.
You have to know. You have to know who it is.
I don't
Why?
know about that. I don't know about.
I don't know
You
about
telling
that.
me?
They all
You telling
could
me
You
the
don't know.
Dominicans
You don't know
that
if the
deny their
Mexicans.
blackness?
Please. Ain't no Dominicans say they black. Not one. Even the black
I'm
women
saying
in New
you
York.
telling me that the Dominicans that deny their
what
blackness,
about the Brazilians who do?
the
But we not
Brazilians who
They're
do what?
Brazilians.
they're Latino.
Okay. They still voted for Trump.
What about the people from Panama?
I don't care if they're from Guatemala. I don't care if they're from
okay, all right.
South
I
America.
understand the conversation. You're not understanding the conversation. I get it.
I understand. No,
I'm gonna have to give you a class, because you're
I
not
understand.
It's
I
not a
understand the
class.
question that you're
No, it is
asking.
a class because the way you're answering
No,
is
it isn't.
obviously. Look, you failed
No
the
matter
class.
what,
Okay?
they still voted for
You
him.
failed the class. You failed the class, and you failed the class. Because
Whatever.
y'all telling me it doesn't matter.
No, so
They
you're
still
telling me that when they have the Latino group, you're telling me they do or they do not separate the Latinos into the black Latinos, the browns, and the whites.
I am saying they did not in what you're reporting. No. If you found it, I would say that would be a better. I'm not saying I'm right. But what I am saying, I'm not even saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is before we start throwing every group, because we counting out specific ethnicities. We saying the Mexicans and the Panamanians and all these people. We don't know what that group did as a collective, as an aggregate. We don't know what they did. It's just like even the misinformation about black men. Black men vote, like, people are literally out here thinking black men voted in great numbers for Trump.
No, the number was 20%.
But no, what I am saying is, but you still have people viscerally thinking and saying that black men let them down.
Well, then they're not aware of the numbers.
Was it most of that 20% black men though?
And what I am saying, go ahead, Queen. Let me hear the woman.
I'm saying, is it most of that 20% black men? So it's a valid statement.
No, it's not.
No. Most of the 20% may have been black men, but 20% is a small number.
It is a small number, but it still gave him. It still was votes for him.
80% of black people, men and women, voted for Kamala. Or for Kamala and third parties or whatever, however you want to say it.
So it's no real great difference, he's saying. So what I'm saying is this. No, that's not what happened, Queen. But okay, see, you gotta go in. See, I'm saying go back to stats 101. What I'm saying is we have to be able to break this down to granular levels. Now you could have. I'm just saying before you start throwing specific groups in there, I think that you probably will have to look at the numbers to make sure that you're accurate about that. You could be.
Well, why do we have to be so accurate about a number that's already been fleshed out?
Because you met. No. Okay.
I want to know why.
Okay. You want to listen this time? Are you going to breathe and let me talk?
I did. Go ahead and talk.
You said you didn't need the class. Now you want the class. Okay. The reason why you need to be specific is that if you are now saying, okay, black Brazilians, if you're mad at this group of black people, or this group of Latino people, right? Because they're Latin, come from Latin America or what have you, you're throwing them all in there, but you don't know how people from Brazil actually, Brazilian people in the United States actually voted. You don't know that. You do know that Latinos have voted, but you don't know it broken down by different ethnicities. All you know is this Latino category that puts all these people in one little lump, which is not a real good way of measuring different ethnic groups. You could have said the Cubans, and it could have been the white Cubans, the ones who are against a Castro type of Cuban folk, and different people that identify. I don't know who it is. I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm asking you who it is. But I'm saying is for us to really begin to call out ethnic groups within under the Latino umbrella, we need to understand and make sure that group specifically did do that.
I follow your statements. I agree with you that we should know the various breakdowns. Now, if the data isn't available, then I just got to assume a snake is a snake.
Well, no, you just say Latinos as whatever that is, and then we're throwing out specific groups, and the data might be available. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I'm not saying that anybody's right or wrong. I'm just saying before we start out throwing out specific groups, we have to be clear about that. But two, all right, I'm in closing, brother perspective. Would you finish your closing? Let me let you jump back on your perspective.
I was just gonna say, like I said, cancel the hip hop clowns that did a sellout move. Mm-hmm. Really, what I was saying about the voters in the other communities, whether they were on our side or not, it's not a whole lot that we can say or do. The Klansman won, and the Klansman is gonna do what the Klansman said he was gonna do. There's not a lot to say about that. Because there's all this, people are losing their minds. Oh my God, he did this, and now he's doing this, and now he's doing. There's nothing anybody can do because they want it all. They control all branches of the government now. All we can do is just get ready and stay ready, stay ready. Get your ammunition, get your weapons. And be ready for the Klansmen to come walking down.
Because they have unchecked power.
So. Oh, I'm sorry. That will cover the whole screen. Let's look. We got shit. We got how we fix that one.
Playing with you. Look at this thing.
We gonna just read. We can't cover his face like
you
that.
You can't even see the brother. My
no. Oh God. How we fix that? Hold on. Oh my God, Cliff. Oh my God. Okay. Well, this is what we.
Keep it like that.
Okay. You don't need to see me. That's fine. Okay.
No, you just can't do nothing. Really, you can't really get around it.
All right.
I'm trying, but you can't.
Okay, so I'll just read it let people. Okay, I'll read it on the screen so people can read it. Follow with us. Okay, just keep y'all like that. I'd rather them see y'all. So, go back to the first one.
And you have. He has one before that.
No, go ahead, Queen. You want to read it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out the one you want to see before this one.
I don't think so. I think he just started off with "and" as if he was saying something before. Okay, got it.
And you have the white Cuban descendants of those who had fled Cuba just before the revolution, like Marco Rubio. As for Panama, I met several Afro-Panamanians there in my 2 visits there, who were serious Garveyites and were either strongly opposed to Trump and his ilk, even though Spanish was their primary language. And I'm dumb, so I have not figured out how to see any comments other than mine in this feed. So I did see the link. Not that you need to hear me and run my mouth anyway.
God.
Cliff funny.
He's what's the word? Self-deprecating or something like that. Yeah. Look, they really good at it. They really good at it. That's how they beat you in debates. They come up self-deprecating and then they whip you up with some stuff. My man, look, Prop over there. He trying to get that information over there about the breakdown of Latino. He trying to find the categories. Look, you can't prove me wrong because I said I don't know. But go ahead, Clint. Go ahead. You got it, Proper?
I found something. It's still not entirely.
Proper. Look,
conclusive.
Come back next week.
I got you.
And bring us the proper perspective. But before you go, I was going to ask you, do you got any gully jewels?
Do I got any gully jewels? Not in my mind right now. I have to get prepared for the gully jewels.
So that's his hip hop. What they call it? How did they call it?
My hip hop persona.
Okay. All right. So bring us some gully jewels next week.
I got you.
Bring us the old school and the new school, and then. All right. So in closing, I was going to say I forgot what I was going to say. I did have it, but one piece that I did forget, and I can't remember exactly what that was. But I will say this: I think it's important that we look at this thing in very nuanced ways, because we have to, at the end of the day, I don't really, to me, whether or not Snoop Dogg or any of these leaders or whoever they are, whether or not they were performing for Trump, which I can understand clearly why people are upset. Right, I can clearly understand why people are upset. Family, give us some likes, share this, family. Give us some likes. We didn't ask for any likes today. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. But what I will say is, the way that I see this from a Black conscious perspective, if they were going to perform for either one of these parties, they all sell out still. But nonetheless, so I agree. And I'm just keeping it real balanced, but I do understand why people are struggling with this thing because of what is going on, and I'm hoping that this ignites us politically.
But even personally too, personally, community,
Yeah, and to me, politically encompasses all of that.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. Because all that, all the leads. I always say that, all the leads, right?
Okay.
Psychologically, mentally, physically, spiritually, socially.
You got it.
You always mess the word economic up, because you're like, I can't say economically. You can't say economically, because that means that you're really thrifty and things. But see, it's economic. But anyway, but also I think that we have to really deal with this idea of culture. And I think that what is going on right now is that the white patriarch males, Trump and those good old boys, are tired of the white liberal female in their crew who let everything go without any boundaries. Now they like, look, we're gonna go clean this up, but we tend to lean to the left with let's say the liberal stuff. And I will argue that Black people don't have no time to be liberal. Black people, we need organization, we need structure, we need culture. We need some culture in our lives, because if you look at what's going on, we too damn liberal. And what's killing us is our quote unquote liberties. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have liberties, but what I'm saying is y'all are liberal we are liberal in the wrong sense. We like shaking your booty on the stage is not revolutionary. And the fact that Kamala or Trump can bring any of these punks on any of these platforms let you know how they care and what they think about you.
Right.
Peace. Queen.
Well, guys, we're running out. We've been here for 2 hours. We appreciate everyone who's contributed. D. Cliff, Proper Perspective, on and off the screen, Nate, Stringer, the people who've come through tonight, we really appreciate that. Sister E, everyone who's in the chat. Listen, please like, share, subscribe. BlakBoxx Radio. Going over to Dr. Dennis Ausar Winkler, and subscribe over there too. We're here every Thursday at 10 p.m. This is the first of 2025, but we're gonna come in hot every Thursday. So come in and see us, and please comment and leave us some comments so we can get in the algorithm. Go ahead, Doc.
Check us out Sunday on BlakBoxx. You know what I mean?
Yep.
As we will be having the Temple of New African Thought Sunday ministry coming to you live and direct. We're going to continue this conversation around leaders in the time of Trump or something like that. We're going to be talking about leaders in the time of Trump. All right. So check us out. You know what I mean?
Sunday, what time, Doc?
1 p.m.
Sunday, 1 p.m. T-Nat will be, what's the name of your, I'm sorry, what's the name of your?
Go to our website, Temple of New African Thought.
Temple of New African Thought. It's coming on with the Sunday spirituality conversation. Am I correct?
Cultural, spiritual, social, physical, all the leaves. Peace and power.
Peace and power. I'm proud. I'm telling you, when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you, when you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you, become a part of it. Embrace it. Become a part of it. Embrace it. Become a part of it. Embrace it. part of it. Embrace it. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness,